First of all, it's my pleasure to introduce Kahira, who's here with her whānau to share whānau's story in terms of what she and her whānau are personally doing to address childhood obesity. I'll remind you again, one of the specific foci we had for today was to ensure that we had the whānau voice in the presentations for the day. So without further ado, I've also had the pleasure of actually accompanying Kahira as she did a fairly impressive run for a distance that I'm sure she'll tell you about with a preventing domestic violence focus as well too. And I think one of the important things that we've already picked up, whilst in health we tend to have a ability to silo things, our whānau don't live in silos. They have a lot of stuff on. So it's all multifactorial. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce Kahira to come up on stage and tell her story. Kia ora koutou. O mai te whakapapa. Up on stage.
They just want to come because they just want to come.
Yeah.
Can you see me? Not used to standing behind something like this. These are my notes. I never write notes. So, kia ora. My name is Kahira. Some know me as Rata. Some call me other names, but we won't go there. This is my granddaughter, Curtius, and this is my daughter, Kahira, and that amazing male specimen over there is my husband, Leroy. So we've just come from cross-country whānau, so we were in gumboots and that a bit earlier, so we've just been there to tautoko our tamariki for their school cross-country. So anywho, just a little bit of introduction about myself. My name is Kahira, and I'm 46 years old, and I'm a mother of 4, and I'm a grandmother of 5, and a wife of 1. Second marriage. Anywho, excuse me if I go a bit off the track. I'm not used to writing things down. I just wing it. So, just want to give you a bit of. I'm just going to talk. Anywho, on the 8th of March 2013, there will be a date that will always have a bittersweet memories for myself and my whānau. On that day, my 2 daughters, one was aged 20, or she was 2 weeks shy of turning 22, and one was 25. That day they decided that they wanted to do the Kora Iron Māori Ironman event in November of that year, and because I had done that event the year before. And that was a huge thing for me because my daughter, who was a couple of weeks shy of 22, she weighed in at 159.9 kilos. And you look at myself and you think, no, she must be a whāngai. No, she came out of me, all of her. But she was born big. She was born 9 pound 12. And yes, and she was my easiest at that time. So I didn't know that she actually weighed that much. She kept that from me. So when she had made that decision to do this event, and I think many of us that have done a triathlon would know it's very challenging. And I didn't realise that people like myself could actually do a triathlon. I thought it was only for certain people and a certain type of people, and that people was not me. But I soon learnt that, yes, I'm a Iron Man, just saying. Anywho, that night, I got a phone call that my uncle, who was in his early 50s, died of a heart attack. So that day will always have those memories of excitement, proud, and sad. We did the tangi thing with my uncle, blah, 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 blah. But the day after we buried my uncle, my daughter, she was experiencing chest pains again. And I just thought, there's no way a parent should ever bury their child for any reason, but more so for heart reasons. So we shot our daughter up to the hospital. They did all the checks that they should do. And she came up clean. There was nothing wrong with her, except for the obvious. So my daughter's almost 6 foot. Yes, same, Oh, she came out of me. And she's just under 160 kilos. How does that happen? I asked myself, how does that happen? I lived in Australia for almost 14 years, and her weight was never an issue. I've brought my daughters up to be proud of who they are, physique, whatever. Don't you be whakama of what you've been blessed with. So we don't have self-image issues in my whānau. And being in Australia and on the Gold Coast, her weight wasn't an issue to anybody else either. And she brought that to my attention when we moved back to New Zealand 5 years ago, and she said, you know what, Mum? People are more worried about my weight here than they were about my weight in the Gold Coast. Gold Coast, come on, bikinis, they call us fake Maoris and stuff like that. But it was here that more people were worried about my daughter's weight. Not me on a physical scale, because I don't care whether you're 200 kilos, you're still beautiful to me, but it's what's going on in the inside. So they couldn't pin anything on why my daughter was having these chest pains, except for you can physically see that my daughter was obese. So that year I signed up to do the fitness and leadership course at the Wā, and I came out as a qualified fitness instructor. So my daughters were my guinea pigs. Yippee! And so I was training my daughters for this Iron Maori event, and I was using them for my training. And so we learnt, we started off with squats and burpees that we all love. We still love burpees. And over time, friends were saying, oh, can we come along? And, just do a bit of training. I'm like, yeah, come on. So we ended up with about, 20, 30 whānau coming, and it was nothing. It was just whānau training, whānau. Over the last 3 years, I've trained one person, and I've trained 70 whānau. Our youngest whānau member that would probably attend would be newborn. Our oldest would probably be about 70, something like that. And when a lot of them come, obviously they're whakama because of their physical appearance. That means nothing to me. What I've tried to create for our whānau is a whānau environment. So are we going to win the war with child obesity and obesity in general? I'd like to think so, but realistically, I don't think so. So how am I going to change that? I can't change the world, but I can help my whānau. You can help your whānau. We can educate our whānau. So for me, it's about creating an environment. If they're not going to eat properly, I can move them. So they become physically active. I've had whānau there that their legs are black, no circulation. Now he's got a bit of structure in his leg and he's moving. My husband over there, you look at my husband and you think, oh, there's nothing wrong with him because he's a handsome specimen. He had a heart attack 2014, Christmas Day. We didn't know. He was actually the smallest he'd ever been from, during our time together. He was 98 kilos. We were having a workout, not the one you think. We were having a full-on workout. And something was not right with my husband. He was dry reaching, he was very sick and green. And I'm giving my husband a hard time. Suck it up, bro. This is not about you today. This is about the tamariki. Oh, I didn't know my husband was having a heart attack. Jeez. Anyhow, Christmas went by and all that sort of thing. On the 1st of January, he was playing with our mokos in one of our beautiful lakes here in Rotorua. Without me realising this, my husband was having a few sensations. He didn't tell me till the next morning. So when we hear and we watch on TV, chest pain, pain up the arm. My husband never got any of that. It was a yucky sensation. He got up in here and his forearms were heavy. As soon as he said that to me, I says, I'm taking you to the hospital, bro. Took him to the hospital, almost floored us when they says, we're going to check to see if, we're going to take blood tests to see if you've had a heart attack. What? We don't have heart attacks. We train 5, 6, 7 days a week. We do this to prevent that from happening. But it was happening, and it came back. My husband actually needed a double bypass, and one of his valves was broken, pretty much. The paru inside one of his arteries was that hard, they actually pierced the artery trying to push it out. So it got worse and worse and worse. So we've got obesity, heart attack. We've got a man I don't think is obese, but he's had a heart attack. So where do we place him? And they couldn't place him. They asked him if he took illicit drugs. Sorry, we barely drink. Do we take supplements? Do we smoke? Do we, heavy drinkers, all this sort of thing. But they could physically see that he was not heart attack material, if that sounds, So here's my 22, not quite 22-year-old daughter, physically obese, nothing wrong with her heart, and yet her father had a heart attack at 42. And just to say, I think because we give everything to the universe and the Lord, it ended up that he didn't need a double bypass. The valve healed itself. When they went through the second time, all the paru came out and he just is now on stents. So we're very, very lucky in that sense. So my thing is every child obviously lives in a home, different homes. One, we have children that have next to no kai. So if they find $1.50, they're going to buy them a pie. Or they're going to go and get them some hot chips. It's accessible. Because they can't go and buy a sandwich because that's going to cost them $5. We have parents that are lazy. I'm just putting it out there because I've got whānau like that. They're just lazy, they're just mangere. We have whānau that they need to be educated. Through my training rōpū, whānau have come and they think Coke Zero is okay for them because there's no fat and there's no sugar in it. Hun, what's energy? What gives you energy? Oh, sugar. That's where it is. So it's about education as well. I am not a nutritionist. I don't pretend to be a nutritionist. As you can see, I'm a big girl-ish. I like my kai. So I talk to my whānau where I don't want to overcomplicate it. You overcomplicate it for our people, they are like, catch you up, I'm out. That's just how it is. That's the reality of it. So I say to them, moderation. We know what moderation is. This is a hakari. That's what you should be eating, type of thing. You know what I mean? We've got a Biggest Loser challenge going on at the moment, and we call it Hakof Hanu. We all know what that means, eh? So I've been running these for 3 years, and the weight losses have been amazing. So what I do, I don't give nutritional plans. I don't tell them what they should be eating, because the first thing they're going to do when they leave, they're going to go and eat that. When you tell somebody not to eat that, they're going to go and eat it. I'm telling you. I've been around long enough to know. So I say to them, all right, to be a part of this, you have to give up 1 kai a week, and you add to that. And you can do anything you like with it, whether you want to, the hardest thing that you believe is going to be or your biggest challenge, you can give that up at the beginning or the end. We've had whānau lose just under 13 kilos in 6 weeks. Why? Because it's whānau doing it. I've been doing this for 3 years, the Biggest Loser challenges for 3 years. Some have stuck to it, some have gone off, some have come back, the situations have changed, circumstances have changed, but they come back because I believe that we've created an environment where they feel like they belong. You know, we don't know everything, and so we all come together and we share it. I'd like to think that one day we had no obesity in Aotearoa. I don't think that's going to happen because there is a lot of our children that are living in some really sad situations, and that's just unfortunate. Can we educate our parents? Yeah, if it's for free. That's another thing. I charge a gold coin donation. You can come in your most hodiest ever clothes and nobody looks at what you're wearing. You know, but if you can give our whānau things where they don't have to fork out, I think we're winning there. You know, and sadly, not everything should have to be about money. And but obviously there's a lot of reasons why our children are obese. And Eugene touched a little bit on what else I do, and that's I stand up against domestic violence and sexual abuse. And I'm very vocal about it, and I think that's also another area of where obesity can come into it. You know, our children are suffering, our innocent are suffering, so some of them eat, you know, comfort eating, or they're living in these sad environments where we're just going to eat whatever's there, and it could be a loaf of bread. You know, I was one of those kids. The bread man's coming around, yeah, dinner, you know, and they put out there today, don't eat bread. Well, sometimes you got to eat a bread to live. So that's my kōrero whānau. It's not flash, but we've got some of our training whānau over here, eh? Tim, I think I saw Paula earlier, somewhere around here. So we've got some of our training whānau. Feel free to come and have a workout with us. We don't have much equipment because, you know, it's a gold coin koha. And that normally goes to charity or whānau that are struggling, or at the moment it's going to Aroha Mai, our local cancer services whānau up the road. So we use tyres, you know. Some people give us some dumbbells, yippee. But I just think we need to not overcomplicate things because you're going to lose the interest of our whānau. I'm one of them. I'm one of those ones that all I see is this, blah, 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 blah. You know, I may not be able to teach them how to eat properly, but I can move our people. And I think we're winning there. Because then when they see that they're losing weight, oh, how else can I do that? Maybe if you cut back this, or in moderation. So that's me, whānau. I hope that's enough.